Carrying on with the dimensions, there's a special tool called room and area, which is able to actually tell you more about the rooms that you have created. Now, what does this tool do?
Well, okay, then let's just compare this this room and area with the dimension tool as well, so we will see the difference. So we will talk about the room and area measurement, how you can do that. The room and area measurement, actually there is a dimension tool which is called the area dimension, and it's well, it should not be here. It's in the building, and it's called area. It's very simple. You just you know, either pick items and then the software will recognize the contour, or you just say, okay, it's a room, or you just free draw a polygon. Let's just start with a polygon. And for some reason, I would like to pick this area, draw it around. Well, I just keep it simple now, and I just follow this contour. And then whatever I did with this one, I actually made a mistake over there, so I can also show you how to fix that. The software measures this. You can say, okay, enter, and then place this text somewhere, and then the software recognizes, okay, that was the area. Now we work in metric system, and then when you select it, the software keeps the original contour, and then you can make fixes, move this node somewhere else, and then it will update itself. So this is how you can measure certain areas. The same tool you can use for a room as well.
And is that what you would use for measuring rooms?
No. In case of rooms, I would use the tool that is called building and room and area, because that is specifically tailored for that situation. A room and area is actually coming with several forms. That the first, which I would like to talk about, is the automatic placement. Automatic placement auto-recognizes and auto-generates room stamps or room, room information in all of the rooms with a very simple text with room and a number, and then you can change the room text. Let's say this is actually a bedroom.
Yeah, the software doesn't know by itself what the room's actual role is. You have to name them.
So actually, you can quite quickly you can cycle through these rooms and then just give them a proper name. But there is another tool which I would like to recommend, and that's the room and area room by walls. A room by walls is actually doing this. You just click there, and then it's by default giving you more information. That's just a setting. You can go into the settings, and then you can figure out what happens. Actually, this is also something that is based on local standards. You can either use DIN, VOLFIV, or Norm 1. You can also change the limits of this room, how it's recognized, and this will actually give the opportunity that the software actually can extract information in an Excel file and calculate the volume of the room as well. Even if it's having a roof or something with some very weird shape, it's calculating the volume as well. There are the calculated values here. Here is where you can see and change the room name. You can actually set up different apartment units, group them together, that this is apartment unit 1, 2, 3, and all of them has bedroom and kitchen and other things. You can set up the gross area, and you can set up a different area setting. Even the volume is here now. It's very small, simply because I did not change the upper limit into very well. Actually, it's very small. So you can. I just disable everything here and say auto recognize it. I don't want to care about that. Yes. I already designed it. And there is also something that's called the abbreviations, and you can say, well, for example, you would like to distinguish the gross area from the other area, and so you can say that, okay, this is GA for gross area, and then we can see that, okay, now so if I have other options enabled, which we saw before, and that's the calculated values, and this is where you can enable all of these. This is how you will be able to distinguish which is which. Also, in the properties, you can set up the text style, the style itself. So you cannot piece by piece set up all of the fonts for all of the settings, but you can pick up a ready-made style that you have created before, or it's shipped with the software, and then you can use that. So let's change this, for example, to, I don't know, times 500 and redraw. So we have a different font style. I will just actually turn it back to something else.
Can you tell us if this room and area label has any connection to the room, like the measurements do? So if you change the contour of the room, for instance,
yes.
what happens? Does it update automatically or asks for your permission?
Yeah, this automatically updates. It will actually tell you that the room shape has changed. Should I update these things? There are certain triggers in the software when it recognizes the changes, and then you can say, okay, update it. But this only happens with these room stamps, room and area tools that you use by auto-recognizing the walls, because there is the other one, the room by Polygon, which is quite similar to this one, but in this case you can see only a measured value, and this actually creates the same stamp but with a fixed area. So you can use these for gardens, garageways.
That's a scenario where you would
and other things. Yeah.
Now,
so when you would like to represent more likely something like this than just simply a value.
You briefly mentioned the roof spaces and lofts. There's a special scenario for them. You need to know what is the actual amount of living space.
Yeah.
Because in every country these regulations are different, meaning that the amount of space which should be deducted is different. But how do you calculate that?
Let me just quickly create. I actually prepared a very simple example here. Which looks like this. And there's a very simple volume here. This is handled as one single room, but of course it happens if the shape is different.
Yes.
I just created a wall which is not larger than 1 meter, I believe, and at this point it's around 2.7. And then I have this room shape here. And then, for example, here in this local area, we consider everything below 1.9 meter that is not useful for humans. It's okay for storing things, but not good for something that you would like to inhabit. So it should be either
deducted from your gross area, or
so you should not count it as the gross area. So this is actually based on two things. One thing is the software is by default set up to use this value in the item settings, and then it's here, the minimal height belonging to the net area, and this is it here. You can change this value wherever you wish, and then the software will calculate based on those values. And then now, as I have this room here, I can see two different values, and that's the reason why. I can see the original kind of floor area, and this is the area that can be inhabited, count as an inhabited area.
Yes.
And there's this red line. So these settings are here. First things first, I activated both of these, and then I went to the profile and area properties, and I just made sure that it is represented red, and it's represented with this dashed line. And then it turned this into a visible clue here until when I already placed it, I used this here. It's called the net area on off switch. If I just disable it, I won't see, even it's there. But if I go back and I say, okay, just make it visible for me and then enable it, and then I can see it here.